Hello and welcome to today's video tutorial on sequences and arithmetic progression. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the formulas for finding out the nth term and the sum of terms in a sequence. In short, this video tutorial will be covering only that which will help you on your test. Before we begin with the first slide, what is important for you to know is that for your exam, you need to know three things about arithmetic progression. That is, the nth term, the sum of terms, and the arithmetic mean or the average. Now, to find the nth term in a sequence, we use the formula which is nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term and d is the common difference. How we derive this equation is very interesting. You see, if we have a sequence 5, 7, 9, 11 and so on, that means our first term is equal to a, which is equal to 5. Our second term is equal to a plus d, which is equal to 5 plus 2, which is equal to 7. Our third term is equal to a plus 2 into d, which is equal to 5 plus 4, which is equal to 9, and this is how it goes on. Now, if each term is equal to the first term plus the term number minus 1 into its common difference, that means that the nth term will be equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Let us see what is meant by sequence. If you have been given an expression that is Pn is equal to 3n plus 5 and asked to write down its sequence, what you would do is find the pattern starting from 1. So if n is equal to 1, then P1 would be equal to 8, P2 will be equal to 11, P3 will be equal to 14, and so on. Which means that starting from 8, we have a sequence of numbers with a common difference equal to 3. Now, there should be some rule to it while deriving a sequence. And to understand this rule, let us see an example. We are given a sequence 8, 13, 18, 23, and so on. We can see that the sequence follows a certain pattern, and there is a common difference of 5 between the numbers. We know that the nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term in a sequence and d is the common difference. Now, the first term of the sequence here is 8 and the common difference is 5. Putting these values in the equation, we get nth term equal to 5n plus 3. This means that through this, we can find any term in the sequence. What is very important to note here is that the coefficient of n is basically the common difference in the sequence, right? Just like if the nth term is equal to 5n plus 3, our common difference would be 5. That is the coefficient of n. Now, a series is the sum of terms in a sequence. And to find series or the sum of terms in a sequence, we use the formula which is derived from the formula of average. We all know that average is equal to the sum of terms divided by the number of terms, that is n. And if we transpose the number of terms to the other side, we will get sum of terms equal to the average into the number of terms, that is n. If the sequence follows a certain pattern, then the average can be calculated by adding the first term with the last term and dividing it by 2. Always remember that the sequence should follow a certain pattern. Otherwise, the formula for average, which is equal to the first term plus the last term divided by 2, does not apply. Anyway, coming back to our equation, our sum of terms will be equal to n over 2 into the first term plus the last term, or it will be equal to n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into D. Let's now do a very simple question on arithmetic progression. If we have a sequence 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on, and we are asked to find the 35th term of the sequence, what we will do is check two things. The first term, which is equal to A, which is equal to 2 here, and the common difference, which is also 2 here. And n is equal to 35, the term number, right? So 35th term is equal to 2 plus 35 minus 1 into 2, which is equal to 70. Now, there is another question which says that sequence T is defined as Tn equal to 6n plus 3. And we have been asked to find the common difference. Now, it shouldn't take you more than 1 or 2 seconds because the answer is in the question, and that is 6. In the last slide, we have already learned that the coefficient of n in a sequence is the common difference, right? Okay, we will conclude this lesson with a very interesting question for which you are required to find the nth term as well as the sum of terms. The question says that a theatre has 15 seats in the first row, 18 in the second row, 21 in the third row, and so on in the same increasing pattern. If the theatre has 20 rows of seats, how many seats are there in the theatre? Now, our first step should be to write down the sequence mentioned in the question, which is 15, 18, 21, 24, and so on. Through this sequence, we come to know that our first term is equal to 15 and our common difference is equal to 3. Now, the total number of rows is equal to 20, and to find the sum of terms, we can use the formula S is equal to n over 2 into the first term plus the last term. We know that n is equal to 20, that is the total number of rows. Our first term is equal to 15 and the last term can be get by applying the formula of nth term. So our 20th term will be equal to 72 and the sum of terms will be equal to 870, which is the total number of seats. With this, we come to the end of our video tutorial on arithmetic progression. In a couple of days, I will be uploading a video on geometric progression. With that video, we will complete our video tutorials on the topic of sequences and arithmetic progression and geometric progression. Till then, goodbye to you and have a very nice day.